Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet. And this is Cupid. He wanted to sit on Mom for a little bit. I have no idea what episode it is, but it's mid-September, and yeah, everything just flows together right now. You're going to hear cats in the background. I have 3 total, and I just let them be them as long as they're not doing obnoxious things. It's been a little while since I sat down with you. Life got away. Of course, if you've been watching before, you know my husband is currently deployed, and he was in a hot zone and came home and had to no contact for a while. And so we were here, and with him here, it isn't as easy to record. He doesn't do video. So, yeah, I'm back. I do have a little bit of knitting to talk about, and some spinning to talk about, and some life to talk about. And everybody here is healthy and safe, and I hope everyone where you are is healthy and safe. Sarge went back to work. He's completely safe now. And I have kittens playing with yarn because we're in my craft room, which is not completely put together yet. And the cats think that this is their own jungle gym. In fact, the computer right now is set up on an old baker's rack, which is actually sitting in the middle of the room because I just haven't had time to pull everything out and put things back where they're supposed to be. So, yeah. Okay, you grumpy old man. Come here. You are very talkative today. Well, is it because the little kids are causing you problems? This is Mr. Spot. Yeah, we don't do this every episode, or at least I hope I haven't gotten into that, but lately they've wanted to be where I am. And I think it's because I'm their person at home. So if I'm talking, they're like, who's she talking to? And you're being very vocal. Very vocal. Shh. Shh. Yeah, we'll see if he calms down some. But we're not here because of my animals, we're here because of the knitting. So let's get to it. I have finished objects. Well, you could say objects because it's a pair, because you have to have them because I have 2 feet. And that's my socks. And this is in opal in the rainforest, one of the rainforest colorways. Very peachy oranges, grays, tealy green is this darker, it's not really a gray, and creams, and I love the way they came out. I normally do my socks top down, depending on how much ribbing I want or how bored I get with the ribbing is how long the ribbing goes. I do a length of leg. I do a slip stitch heel cuff, heel turn, gusset, down to what I consider my rounded toe. Now, my rounded toe, these are the Hornshaw sock blockers. I wear a size 10, so I need the large. I have a whole wall of all of them because I have people who have different size feet. So I start with 64 stitches on size 2 needles. Everybody's like, so big. I knit socks very tight. I have compared my knitting of socks to people who knit on 1s or 0s, and a little bit bigger than a 0, but about on par with a 1 with how tight my knitting is on DPNs. My rounded toe, I start with the standard wedge where you're decreasing every other row, and then I go to decreasing every row, and then when I'm at 16 stitches, which is half the stitches decreased on each needle or on each side, then I Kitchener at the end. And I'm one of those weird ones that my socks do not have to match. They're in my shoes. It's one ball of yarn. It's self-striping. I don't care if they match. If you're paying that close attention to my socks, we have issues. So here's one and the other. And just little differences. Nothing major and nothing that I'm going to complain about, but really, I'm good with it. Yeah, that is my finished object. As soon as I cast those off into my whips and what's on my needles and hooks, as soon as I cast those off, I cast on in, let's see, Cascade Yarns Heritage Prints in Jewels. And I guess my mojo for socks got back because I completed this one. Now this one I did a little bit different in that I did 1x1 rib at the top, and I did it for about 2 inches. And then I went into a stockinette, down into my slip stitch heel, turn, gusset, and then rounded toe. And if I put this, I did this a little bit shorter than I did the others. Still need to weave in my ends, so I weave those in at the end. But as you can see, it does not come up over the top where the others did, so a few inches shorter. This is more what I normally do, the length of my sock. And I'm liking the way this is coming out. It's a purpley color, a blue, a burnt orange, and a brick red. You can see the difference there. I think you can see it on there. And I didn't stop. You can see that the turn here should have had a red in the middle, but that's where it went on the heel. So yeah. These are from me. When I went and got my nails done today, my nail tech asked me if I could make her a pair of socks. So I've got to take a couple skeins with me to see about getting hers. So as soon as I finish this first one, I don't know what her favorite colors are. Started casting on for the second, and I'm that far in. And as you see, one of my needles is a different brand. That's because one of my sock sticks got broken. And so I ordered a new set of sock sticks. These are by Lantern Moon. They are my absolute favorite DPN. Now I like my metal ones. I love my Tiagus and my Haya DPNs. But if I was to state what my favorite needle for sock knitting is, it is the sock stick. This is, I'm not sure if it was Knitter's Pride or if it was Knit Picks, but you can tell the difference in the tips. The greeny blue is kind of blunt, and the sock stick is pretty pointy. And I prefer the pointiness to the blunt, though I have the full set and I do use them. The sock sticks are still my favorite. They're a 5-inch needle, and it just works perfect for my knitting. So that is project number 1 in my hippo bag from the Silver Shed USA. Love my hippos. What else do I have going? In my Anomalous bags, Anomalous Minds bag, my sloth bag, I have the hat from Malabrigo, And no, I'm not done on it yet. I haven't really been going anywhere, and this is what I've been taking as, been leaving it in my car as my to-go knitting. And I did about 3 inches of 1x1 twisted rib. I have my squirrel marker on there to tell me the front. This is done in Malabrigo Rios. I have the name of it again. Yep. Key dress 862. And I will be using this pom-pom on the top when I get there. And I love the way it's knitting up. I just haven't sat down and knit on it. Hats aren't my go-to. I know a lot of people say hats are a quick knit, but honestly, hats are not a quick knit for me. Socks are a quick knit when I knit on them. A sweater's a quick knit when I knit on it. When I don't have 15 other projects to do. Hats, I think it's because I'm not a hat wearer, and I get too warm and I hate having my hair messed up, and yeah, that's me. So that's just a hat I'm making up out of my head. 100 stitches cast on, 3 inches of ribbing, and then knit probably until I've got, what, a quarter of the yarn left, and then I'll start decreasing down. So, okay. Let's talk about this one first, because I think the other two, no, I have 2 more to talk about and then 2 to talk about that I'm thinking about ripping out and restarting, or just ripping out. I should say, oh my gosh, yes, I was working on the Simple Hug, and I was doing it in the round, and I was doing it out of the Bernay. I have no idea. It was Blueberry Haven was the colorway, but I think it was an Aran weight. And I got it done, and I got it steeped. Let's see if I still have pictures. Give me just a second. I had turned the steek so that it was enclosed on on the bands. I had not enclosed the sleeves when I set it down and forgot to put it in its bag, and I went to bed. And you can see I was wearing it. The steeks were done. I was getting ready to pick up for the cover for the edging, the neck edging, and I left it on the couch. And these are the pictures I'll go through. I showed that I crochet chained the steek, wrong way, and I was then cutting it, getting that all done, opened it up, it's laying there nice and pretty. I had done up the beginning and made it so that they were secure. I hadn't done the 2 arms because I had steeped both arms. I have kittens. Kittens like to play in things. Completely my fault, not theirs, because I left it out. Mama shouldn't leave her toys out. I had nothing but strings all over the living room floor the next morning. It all went into the trash. Once you cut it, it's no longer reknittable. So I know this. I've done steeks before. No. So yeah. That takes me to this bag. where I said, okay, I can do another one and I can do it in wool. And I've got all this worsted weight wool that I had gotten from Spartacus Dyes. And there's one other brand and two other brands in here. So let me dig for the names. Okay. This one is Quarantini. It looks like a drink. It's called Quarantini by Spartacus Dyes. It's on Josh Whedon, her 220 worsted. Then I had Galentine's Day, because this is a striped sweater. I figured why not? So this is also by Spartacus Dyes. And this is Galentine's Day. And then there is let me make sure. Yeah. This one is good, inside good, outside bad, the beginning of quarantine. Inside good, outside bad. And I thought I would add to that my Valley Yarns Stockbridge, and this is in Blue Mist. And the last one is Shinobi, Shinobi. And it's another worsted, same yardage, same weight, but this is by Critical Sheep. And I figured all of these colors kind of blend together with the pop of the pink and would stripe up in the stripes that the Simple Hug would do in a size 11. Do I want to knit another one? If I knit it, I'm going to knit it flat, not steeped. I don't know. This may get ripped out and these may get put back in my stash. I haven't decided. Talk to me. What do you think? I mean, the sweater's busy anyways. I can wear it with the stockinette side out or the reverse side out. Should I just think about doing it in a plain color? Got enough yarn to do that. I don't know. So this one, I'm kind of on the fence as to what I'm doing. And I kind of jumped in on that because I remembered about the ripping out and I wanted to talk about it all together. So, I don't know. I haven't decided. Will I wear it in colors of teal and pink together? Probably, but I don't know. So the one that I originally grabbed was this bag, and this holds my... Of course, I should say that the Simple Hug was designed by the Cozy Knit podcast people. So I am on to the last of my balls for this set of minis and everything else that I put into one cake for my granny stripe blanket. And let's see if I can pull it out. I've gotten a bit more done. I didn't put in a progress keeper. Should have. But I don't normally do that, so I'm not used to it because I'm used to having an audio podcast. I'm still not used to this video. I'm almost to the end of this row. So instead of having issues, I will quickly get to the end of this row. So it looks like it was probably just pulled out. and 1 stitch in the end. Okay. So without causing much issue, I started with the pink down here. Now I'm up to the green. So I've got a good bit done. And I have some self-striping in there that kind of color blocked, which I think is kind of cool. I've got some hand spun, or hand dyed, I've got some big box, I've got all sorts, but they're all sock yarns. And that's where I am on that. I have quite a bit to go. I keep adding on. Keeping it just in a little sack I have. Drawstring sack. Oh, what's next? Oh, the Felix pullover. And the Felix pullover is basically a simple raglan that has been an added embellishment. And I have cast off for the bottom. I did 3 inches of 1x1 twisted ribbing at the bottom. I did elongate it. I made it to total with ribbing is 16 inches down. Fits at my natural waist. It has the detail. I am working on the arm. I am doing the arm different than what the pattern calls for. I have an arm. Okay, I have excess skin still from surgery. Probably never going to get rid of it. I'm still in the process of losing weight. So I know this skin is going to be here. I have wings. Most patterns in the arms do not account, even in bigger sizes, for these wings. And they tell you at 1 inch of arm to start decreasing. For little, well-toned arms, yeah, you can do that. For mine, So I have learned over the years, I knit 5 inches straight, and then that takes me to about right here under the arm, which is where my natural curve to begin my elbow, the elbow's down a little bit further, but where I can start decreasing. So I started decreasing there. I've done 3 rounds. I do a decrease and knit 3, decrease, knit 3. So every 4 rounds I decrease. And at the point of where my elbow bend was, or is, I put it into 1x1 twisted rib, and I will continue in pattern to decrease down from the large size that I was down to about 44 stitches, or possibly 42. These are on, I changed to a size 8 needle, did the whole body and everything in a 10. I changed to an 8 needle for the ribbing, and I will do that all the way down, probably to, I normally go to where my thumb bone is, so straight across. And that's where I am on that. Knitting on this, I have to say, I so wanted this Nightshades because I love Cormo. And I love spinning Cormo, and I love the Cormo I spin. Maybe it's just a difference in the way. The more I work with this, the more rustic it is. I mean, I know it's probably going to bloom and be softer, but right now I'm not impressed with it. And for the cost of it, I was expecting a little bit more for the 100% Cormo. Might be the way it's processed. I'm not sure. I'm not putting them down. It is a workhorse yarn. It isn't as pull-apartable as the Shelter is, but it is pretty easy to break. There's not a whole lot of structure. It's very much a woolen spun, not a worsted spun. That gives me good definition and for a lightweight sweater that's going to keep me warm, which is fine. I live in Michigan, and that's a good thing. But like I said, I have a whole nother sweater's worth. I don't know. I just don't know. I know Sarge would not want to wear it. So it would not be something that I could knit up into a sweater for him. So it isn't that he's picky, it's just if it isn't comfortable, he's not going to wear it. Brings me to the last. I ordered extra of the URU yarn in the pavement. Let's see if I can get this out of here without destroying anything. In the pavement and the, what is this colorway? Hustle. And I kept saying, it's kind of a fuchsia pink. That isn't coming out accurate at all because of the yellow behind me. Yeah, it's got a yellow undertone. It looks like it does not have a yellow undertone. This is a gray-like pavement out there, the asphalt, and this is very much a fuchsia pink. And I'm like, I want to make up a stripy sweater. Really, really like the Cedar by Joji Locatelli. And I started it. But I think I'm going to rip back because other peoples that have started it, other people who have started it in the 2-color. Let's see, where's my beginning of round? That should be back here somewhere. Yep. They do this first color very short and then add in the second color, and the change is at where the detail of the lace is. And I think I want to go back and just do this whole front part gray and then go to the next one and then the next one and then the next one. And so I think I will be ripping this back. That's why I haven't knit on it much. Kitty, you cannot have my cords, they will hurt you. Very simple knit. The lace pattern looks worse than what it is. Cupid, you are the bane of my existence today. I have this in my Peace Love knit bag. I forget who made these. Had it for a while. No, you cannot eat my socks. No. Silly kitty. And I think that's all on that I'm talking about. Let's see. What's in my show notes? Come here, you. You being a pain. Future knits. Can you get down so Mama can talk to these people, please? Okay. In my hippo bag with my socks, I have the leftovers of that orange yarn. And I really like that orange yarn. And I have a bit of a ball left over. I could probably do shorty socks with heels and toes, but I don't like changing my heels and toes. And most of the time you won't see me do that. And the reason is I can feel the sock yarn difference in my heel, and I don't like that. I also don't like having anything that I have woven in. And I just don't like it in my heels and my toes. So 9 times out of 10, I have solid socks that are from whatever yarn it is. But I do have this. And then I remembered that I have a mayo. If you don't know what a mayo is, it is the cup that you can take apart and you can put a picture or you can put sock yarn. So I know there's a pattern out there, and I think, I know it's pink and this is orange. I don't care. I like this orange. So I think I'm going to knit up a Mayo cover and have my cup that's what I'm going to do, future knitting. It's going to be for me. Of course, you have to take it apart, wash it, put it back together, that kind of thing. I picked this up 2 years ago, I think. Amazon, 2 years ago. It's Make It Your Own as Mayo. This is a 16-inch or a 16-ounce cup, which is perfect for coffee or my Crystal Light or whatever on the go. So that's where this is going to go. Another future knitting. I was looking on my shelf the other day, you know, putting up a bunch because I'm still sorting and I'm still going through and organizing and everything in here. And I found my Craig Namor from Tuscan Knits, which is lace weight, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. Now, I've had fights with mohair. Now, I'm not allergic to mohair. When I have spun it in the past, it has gotten wrapped around the orbit of my eye and almost cut off the optical nerve. They got it out without cutting that. But I love the variegation on this. Then I saw this from Kettle Steps from Good For You, which is 40% merino, 40% llama, and 20% nylon. And I'm like, those colors together for a rocket tee. And then I went and looked at the yardage for the rocket tee. I need another skein of this, and she no longer has this color. So I went on Ravelry. The two people that were selling it, neither one of them have them anymore. No, I'm not on Ravelry most times, but sometimes still have my account. I haven't gotten rid of it. So I'm like, well, that won't do, but I still want to use this. So I remembered that Mad Science Yarn made me up some test tubes, and I have 2 colors that would go with this if I did. This one's got a speckle, it's just beautiful. This one's more tonal, has lots of different tones in there, but it would still go. And then I would have enough to do a rocket tee in my size. And if I didn't like the yellow, which of course everybody knows I love yellow, I also, but this is changing the composition because this is superwash merino and nylon. This one is also superwash merino and nylon, but this is a singles and this is applied. But I could throw that in. I'm kind of leaning towards this for the 3. Let me know what you think. I think it would work out really pretty. I want to do a rocket tee. And so the rocket tee, if you don't know, is by Tanis of Tanis Fiber Arts. I don't know her last name. I got the pattern a while ago. It's striped, but it's striped with a sock yarn and a mohair. You hold the mohair single, you hold the sock yarn single, and they're striped. So I could actually do a stripe of this, a stripe of this, a stripe of this, you know, and just continue. So I wouldn't have as much mohair because I wouldn't have the amount of mohair. Let's see, how many yards is this? This is 400 yards, 400 yards, and 459 yards. What do you think? True opinion. I know on me, fall colors are wonderful. So, yeah, I dyed my hair. This is normal. I go into fall, I go red. Yeah. I still wish I had this. If you know anybody that has any of this one that looks like pumpkin, that would be my first choice. But I just don't have enough yardage. The yardage here is 414 yards, 459. I would be short by almost 200 yards. Now, I could do it shorter sleeves. I could do it shorter in body, but that's not what I want. So, yeah. Just give me your opinion. Let me know. Let's go into spinning. I was asked last time if I could talk about my wheels, and I will. I think that's going to start next episode. I'm going to get more in depth on spinning. I have actually ordered a spinning sampler. And if you were around back in the day of audio, you know that I did a breed study. And I did 3 shawls out of my breed study. I had, I think, a total of 60 different types of breeds. Well, this time I only picked up 24. And I will talk about my wheels, the process of the prep, and what prep, how to spin off what prep. And I'll go a little bit more in depth. In fact, I may decide to do some lives while I have time and get more into the spinning side of things, and then leave the podcast for more of the knitting side of things. But I do have a little bit of spinning, and I'm going to finish this up in the next week, hopefully. I have 8 more ounces. I have another bobbin that is just about like this. The bobbin got wonky. My woolly winder is new, and I didn't oil it the next time, so it was just sticking and going right here. So there's a little bit of a wonkiness, but that's okay. I have a whole nother bobbin done. And then I have 8 more ounces. So these are holding just about 4 ounces each. And I have 8 more ounces to spin up, and then I will start applying. And I'm doing that on my Ladybug. Getting a scratchy voice. Sorry about that. But I am spinning clockwise in an S. Okay, when you look, you have S spin and Z twist. And what you do is the S go towards. So the middle bar goes in the direction of the spin. So you single S, apply Z. So clockwise, counterclockwise. This is my S. It is, I haven't decided. The sweater I was going to make out of this will not be made out of this because it's coming out more of a sport weight to apply, and I really don't have enough to do a 3-ply for a full sweater's worth. So, is it perfect? No. Will it be perfect once it's plied? Yes. That's the wonderful thing about spinning. It's a lot like knitting and blocking. Ooh, that's a little bit loose there. Well, once you put it in the water and you block it out, I do believe in letting it rest for 24 hours. This has rested for about a week, so I'm not worried about that. But when I am finished with all of the other that I am spinning, I will let it rest for 24 hours before I begin to ply, because I want that energy out of it, and I want the energy in the opposite direction going in correctly. And then I do believe in soaking thwacking, which is not just a pop pop, You got to be a little bit tougher with your yarn than that. And if your yarn can't hold up to a true thwack, you're not spinning correctly, in my opinion. And opinions are like noses. So I'll be talking more about that. I think I'm going to do straight out videos, and I may go live on YouTube if I can figure out how, and show you my process of spinning, talk about my different wheels. Of course, I've been working with the Ladybug the most right now. Rue too, and I are getting to know each other. I have Flo. Flo is my Fricky single treadle. I have Pib, my plug-in boyfriend. That is my Hanson e-spinner. I have Nano, I believe it is, the mini eel wheel. And I have a Pinky, which Pinky Tuscadero is a Babe Pinky. It was my very first wheel, and in fact my daughter-in-law has it, and that's why I haven't started the spinning yet, is I need to get her back a glass dish, she needs to give me back my spinning wheel, and then I'll have them all here. It is called the Pinky because it is light enough as a full spinning wheel to pick it up with your pinky and carry it. It's less than 4 pounds. A lot of people are anti the newfangled stuff. It's got to be a wooden wheel. Well, I'm not like that. In fact, I would love to have a, oh, what are those metal wheels called? It's the name of a flower, starts with a C. Can't think about it. Columbine? Columbine wheel? Yeah. I would love to have a Columbine wheel. I have been in love with those forever. I like something different. It's like my Ladybug. She's a wooden wheel, but she's got a plastic spinning actual wheel, and that doesn't bother me. My Pinky had it's PVC pipe. You would think you'd be able to just go out and buy the stuff, but you can't. It's furniture grade and specially made, and it's got a child's wheelchair wheel, so it's perfectly balanced. The Fricky has a different setup to where you don't have to change whirls like you do on the Ladybug, because the whirl is all built into the back, and so you just adjust your band. Each one of these has something different. Have I spun on other wheels? Yes. First wheel I ever spun on was a Traveler. I have a friend that has a handmade wheel. I have several friends that have antique wheels. I've helped people with traditionals, and I prefer the castle style. I've worked even with a walking wheel. Am I an expert? No. Am I pretty good at what I do? I think so. So, yeah, I'll talk you through, and with everything that you find on the internet, you may find something else somewhere else that has a different opinion and a different process. So because I was asked, I will. So that is my spinning for this week. I have 8 more ounces, which hopefully I can get done by the next time that I record, and then I can get into the spinning. So there we go. Shopping. I have acquisitions. I listen to a show called Chicks on the Right, and I enjoyed listening to that. I watch them on their YouTube, and sometimes I catch their live show. If not, you can catch it on a podcast. It's a rebroadcast on their podcast. Well, on their show, this gentleman whose wife, Gloria, had passed away, and she had a lot of jewelry that she had made handmade. And it is Wire Treasures, and it's wiretreasures.com, and I went on that, and I'm like, well, help out someone. His wife had passed away. He'd like to get her stuff out and, advertise some. And so I went and I ordered this beautiful onyx pendant. I need to find a chain for it. I haven't yet. It is set in sterling silver. Hand done, and it is gorgeous. just a knot up here, filigree. Held on very nicely. She does her wire wraps very nicely. Excuse me. And it's a beautiful piece of onyx. And I need to find the right necklace for it to go on. But I can see this being a staple in my jewelry. I do wear necklaces quite a bit. Don't always wear bracelets. I always wear rings. And I never wear earrings. My ears get infected. So again, that is Wire Treasures. The guy is very sweet and he communicates very good customer service, a lot of communication there. And I'm sorry for his loss, and supporting another maker so that, you know, he can take care of the cost of, you know, the funeral and everything. It just touched my heart. So that was one. Number two is I got into what I'll call worry beads. Now these are, I think there's a Tibetan name for them. Let's see if I can figure it out. Just says, I picked up 3 of them because I really like them and I'm going to use them as jewelry as well as using them for prayer beads. Now, I'm not huge into prayer, but occasionally I need to sit and focus and become mindful. And I do meditate, and I'm wearing one on my wrist. There are 108 beads on each of these, and you're supposed to say some sort of, I have no idea, but I use it more for, you know, thoughts and relaxation and getting my worries out. This is one that I got in beach colors. And this has what is that flower? Terrible about that. But I like this. And so it would just slide on. And you just wear it. Lots of blues. This one is wooden beads. And it has the frog knot at the bottom. Now, I wouldn't wear these all together, but I did pick up one that I really like to wear with jeans. And I picked all these up off Amazon, just in shopping. And this one has like a gearhead bow. It's kind of cool. And I really like the patterning on these beads. See that gearhead bow? And it's got the turquoise beads in with it. And these wooden ones I will have to not only use the oils of my skin, but every once in a while use wood oil on them. Conditioner. And so again, there's that one. There's that one. And then there's this one. I mean, they don't hang too low. They're kind of nice with a long cardigan. Throw it on. This one, because of the weight of the beads, I'm probably going to restrand with a knot in between each because these are glass. Agate, I believe they are. And I grew up on Agate Beach. So. So that was the jewelry purchases, and now we get into the Nidalee purchases. And the first that came in was my Leo and Roxy Yarn Co. from Canada, and this is in their Kick It in the Patina. No, Kick in the Patina. It's an 80/20 sock yarn, and it screams fall to me. The beach, the leaves, I mean, Lake Michigan, just that's the colors. And I think I would like to make a shawl out of this one. It is just so pretty. It is 420 yards. Recommended stitch count is 24 to 32 stitches on size 0 to US 3 to 8. A 2.0 is a 0, so I don't know. So I like that one. I ordered it. I also ordered from Germany. There was a cross, I don't know what to call it, communication. My friend ordered at the same time I did. The lady was communicating with me instead of her. I thought that my order had gone through. She hadn't taken my money. I kept saying, why didn't you take my money? So my friend got her order. I didn't, so I reordered. And this time the thing is with the shop, it is Bodoline, BODOLINE, or INA, .de. So it is in Dutch, German. She is in Germany. These are the neatest needle holders. This is for a small interchangeable set or DPNs, and I'm going to be using it for my DPNs. And you flop it open. Each one of these, let me grab that DPN. Well, I'll grab a pen so that you can actually see it instead of my DPNs. So let me close the mouth of that so it doesn't get any time. So it's closed up, but it accordions out. It's all made out of felt. You can put in the big pocket or in between. There are little pockets that will hold a full set of DPNs. And in the front, it's only held on by the one. So I don't know that I put anything in that one, but you're able. There's a mid-size one, and there's all sorts of different colors of these. I did not get the mid-size one that is for interchangeables. But I did get, I'm finding I have a lot of circular needles, and this is her, so you can see Bodoline. That's how you spell it. And it's .de, not .com. And this one has all of the little pockets. You can see that each one has 3 sections. And it also has a larger one that you can put circular needles or longer needles in the back. So you've got 3 different size needles. So you've got your short, your medium, and your long. And of course it folds, it opens all the way up, folds up, has secure snaps. If you notice, I haven't put anything in these yet. I just haven't gotten organized. But I'm going to be getting organized. And so I got the 2 sizes. There's one in the middle that's for interchangeable. Again, that's Bodoline.de. Then I got 2 of my Knit Crate shipments. Thought I had my Yarn Yay shipment too. I'm not seeing it. There it is. At least I think. I think. Yep. Okay. So these are the 2 subscription that I belong to. Yarnier is from Vicki Howell, and this time it was box 28, and it's all about the hats. And there's a knit hat, and there's a crochet hat, and the color I received was black grape. Get this color to come out right. There you go. Very dark purpley wine. That might knit up any. Think of Merlot. Very much a Merlot color. And this is in Harvest Worsted by Earth, URTH, which is www.earthyarns.com. And there are 225 yards of worsted weight that I could do that. And along with that, I also received a cute little bag that Vicki Howell from Delaque is calling her Fellaque, because they're trying to entice men, racer stripes. And this is in the olive green. I also got a pair of snips that are self-opening scissors with sliced ceramic blades. And the cute thing about this is 1% for autism. A portion of the purchase price is donated to autism research. So I haven't tried those yet either. They came in, I've been busy, so I haven't gotten into this. And the reason I have 2 knit crates is August came in late and September's came in early. So let's see if I can remember which is which. Yep. Okay. They're extremely close in color. Put that up here. This is 2 skeins of Linen Jewel, colorway Oasis. It's a seafoamy green. That is merino, linen, and silk. The pattern to go with it is the inspiration pattern. There's quite a few, but it's basically shrugs. And I received a Sip 1, Stitch 1, Repeat coaster. You can try a knit crate. If you get a hold of me, I can get you a code for $5 and you can get a box for $5 and see if you like it. The one for September that I received is Audine Wools Sleek in the colorway Utopia, which is wool, alpaca, and silk. So the other was wool, linen and silk. This one's wool, alpaca and silk. This is a worsted weight, but it's just about the same color. Now, I changed up my order from being neutrals to being the colorful one. This is fingering, this is worsted, so if I did fingering held double, but the content is completely different. One is got the alpaca and mulberry silk along with the wool, and the other has the linen and silk. One dyed by Adine Wools, the other dyed by Vitalana. My goodies with this one, the suggestion for, whoops, this one. See, I don't even know which box I'm talking about. Suggestion for the pattern is a lovely scarf and fingerless mitts. I don't know what they'll become. They will marinate for a little bit. That all of my, yeah. Bought a couple other things, but mostly for around the house. Dishwasher, microwave both got installed. New kitchen cabinet. Took out the baker's rack that I now am going to put in here. Excuse me, let me get a sip. And I put in a new microwave stand, but without the microwave because we have the now over the stove microwave again. Got rid of my microwave, gave it to somebody who needed one. And where the microwave would stay is where my coffee pot that I don't use that often. When Sarge is home, I use it, and my Instapot are now sitting in there, so they're easy access. I was going to put my KitchenAid on it, but the KitchenAid is too heavy. So, excuse me, KitchenAid is sitting on the cabinet, and I'm in the process of redoing all the cabinets. I got rid of all of my silverware and ordered new. I hadn't had new since I was 18. I mean, I'd picked up a few pieces here and there, but they were so mishmashed. And I'm like, you know what? It isn't that expensive to get a full set of silverware, flatware, and I cleaned out the junk drawers. I cleaned out the knife drawer. I cleaned out cabinets. That's the next room. Now I know I'm supposed to be focusing in on here, but when Sarge was home, he wanted me out there with him. And so for almost a full week, I wasn't doing a lot, but you know, I made him go through some boxes because he had some that I had been setting aside because it wasn't my stuff. And I'm not just going to toss his stuff. That's not fair. But it's been deep cleaning mode. I've also had 2 interviews. One looks pretty promising. Fingers crossed on that. If you're wondering about the B, it says "Let It Be" up the shirt. God, I'm saying a lot, but that's me. Grandkids have gone back to school. That means that Mama Bear is back at school because she is teaching. Or not teaching, she's one of the helpers. Also a yard duty person and things like that. Bear has been in school, been at work the whole time, and he is back in college. And the governor put in a thing here in Michigan that if you were an essential worker and you were working for a certain amount of time during the shutdowns, you may be eligible, if you don't have any kind of college degree, to get a college degree. And so Bear has applied for that to finish up his schooling, which would be great. Other than that, it's a whole lot of just normal cleaning and doing, and I'm a hermit anyways, so yeah. I'm back on my diet, the lifestyle, not just a diet, but a full lifestyle, back on the bariatric. I had slacked off some, and that's not good. And, you get the upward slope, and if you've been watching, I've been battling that lately. So I'm more structured now, I think, and that's a good thing. But, every day is its own process. And I'm watching friends needing help, and I'm able to help them as I can, but I also have to be secure in what I'm doing to where I'm safe. I was just talking with the lady my nail tech, and I see her every 2 weeks, get my nails done. We missed each other during that time. Of course, she wasn't working, and I wasn't able to go to the nail salon, but she says she's still scared. She's still worried. And we had a talk, and I said, well, I understand, and I get it, but I'm not afraid of the flu. I'm not afraid of a cold. I'm not afraid of any of the other viruses that are out there, though I don't know if it was man-made or, monkey-made, as they say. I don't know. But I'm not going to live my life in fear. I'll do what I need to do to go grocery shopping. I'll wear a mask. I wash my hands. I take care of sanitizing. But other than that, I need to be able to live, and I've lived the last 50 years without fear. I'm not going to live in fear now, and I refuse. I absolutely refuse to live in fear. And I'm not saying I don't wear a mask, so don't get on me for that crap, but I'm just saying there comes a time when you have to go, we have to get back to some semblance of normal, because I don't care who says what, this is not a new normal. None of this is normal. And I refuse to live the rest of my life like this. It's just not going to happen. You do you, but I'm just voicing it. I did sign up because I'm not working yet and I haven't gotten a job yet, I signed up to be someone at the polling place. And I have signed up to help with, there are people that ask questions online on how to fill out to be able to get a ballot or things like that. I'm one, I vote in person. I voted absentee when I had to, but I like to vote in person. And I want to be there to help, and I figure civic duty, why not? I was called up for jury duty during this COVID time. Of course, I never had to go in. The courts weren't open at that point. So I did still have to call and everything. So I did everything I was supposed to. But it's just been crazy. And crazy in a weird way, as in more stressful and more anxiety than, because I'm not afraid. I'm anxious. And I think it's because I've sat still long enough that now I no longer want to sit still. And so I need somewhere for that energy to go. And I don't know. I just don't know. I just noticed that the tree across the street, the top of it is completely fall colors now. Reds, oranges, I mean, seriously, these colors. And it goes from the dark across, kind of like this, going down the tree right now with a green at the bottom. Just, yeah. I did get fall tips. My nails, I just get gel on them. But yeah, so how about my gadget? My gadget this week, and the one that I have been working with a lot lately in getting gauge and making sure that my gauge is correct. I love my Ann Budd Knits gauge ruler. And what it is it shows that 4 stitches to the inch. If you lay this on top of your knitting, I don't have a swatch, so I'll just grab my sock. So if I were to lay this on top of my knitting, you would see that even the 9 stitches per inch down here, which is the smallest, is not as tight as I knit socks. I knit socks at normally an 11 stitch per inch. But I like it because instead of having to get out a regular ruler and look at it, these are already printed. Of course, you've got the regular ruler down the side. It goes 1 to 9 inches. And what does it say on it? Move the ruler across your knitting until the image of the stitches on the rulers match the stitches in your knitting to get a rough determination of your stitch gauge. If you need more stitches per inch, swatch with a smaller needle. If you need fewer stitches per inch, swatch with a larger needle. For the most accurate measurement, measure the number of stitches over 4 inches of knitting. And that's correct. Because though you're going for stitch per inch, this is, okay, I'm rough. This is, I'm accurate. And it's just really hard sometimes to get that 1/2 inch or whatever, you know. I've got 4.5 stitches per inch. Well, how much does that equate into 4 inches? So you look at it. And these aren't that expensive. I love having it. It's a great addition to your toolkit. And it is the one that I have been using lately to get gauge on my sweaters. And I don't always knit to the gauge that the sweater calls for. I do math, and if I like the drape of the fabric, I will decide, you know, okay, if I do this, and this is the measurement of my bust, and what I do is I measure my upper bust for sweaters, if it's top down, measure my upper bust, and then if I need bust darts or whatever, I do that. But I like my shoulders. If I go with my outer bust, my full bust, my shoulders fall off. I have sloping shoulders, as you can see. And I need instead to go with my upper bust, which is about an inch below where your armpits are. So I go about, here's my pit, and I go about an inch below, and I go straight across. And that's the size that I make my sweaters to. Positive, negative ease depends on the pattern. But this helps me get the fabric that I like, and then I can determine if I need to use the size up or the size down to get the right fit. And the inches, you know, you have so many stitches per inch, so many inches around your body. What's the closest one that's going to fit that when you look at stitch count? I very much use patterns as recipes, and I go from there. You can always play with it here and there. I do not knit the complex sweaters that have to be exact, because frankly, I don't wear those sweaters, and I'm not going to knit something I don't wear. Well, I can't say that. I mean, I've knit things I don't wear, but they're normally household items or things like that. Yeah, that's my soapbox for this week, I guess. Take it as it is. I hope everyone out there is doing fine, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. So check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.